Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Marvel Strike Force. Today we are Monday, and that means we are on the inaugural day of Battleworld. So they did unlock at around 10 a.m. Pacific time. They did unlock the over here the Battleworld user interface button. So now you can click on it and you can go into Battleworld. Now, before we do, though, I do want to let people know that, of course, the Battleworld store is live, no bugs. We don't have infinite currency. I was like sitting here like wondering if anything was gonna hit the fan. Hasn't yet, anyways, but also it hasn't gone live yet as of recording. I'm starting this a little bit early, and so I just want to do a quick overview that there will be 2 guaranteed slots for the 3 annihilators. It'll be super easy to like find them, right? There's only like there's only 3 characters in these 2 slots, so it should be pretty easy once people start accumulating their Battle World currency. Also, Hank Pym is going to be permanently in this slot here in the store. There are 5 slots for crystals, but honestly, with Shadow King around the corner, I think your best bet is to eventually just buy the Annihilator shards to get you up to the desired rank that you will want to have for the Shadow King trials. I don't think there's anything. Oh, there is actually, you can see in the orbs as well. Pretty expensive, 30,000 to get 1 to 3, 1 to 3, 1 to 3. So 3 to 9. Is that even worth it over buying them directly for 5,500? Maybe. Maybe not, because you could just get 3, right? You could get 3 for 30,000, or you could just buy almost 6 of them for the same price. Not sure. Not sure about that. The pricing seems to be a bit off. I think maybe it should have been about like 20,000. Would have been a bit fair. But that's just me. Let's get started and just check out what's going on in the Battle World interface. So it is live now. You can see it. It's in preview here. It is going to be going well. By the time this video goes out, it's already been live. But anyways, you can see the things. There's the Abyss. You can click on that and click preview. There's also the rewards and the difficulties slider. We're going to talk about this first. Currently, right now, the only first-time rewards in here is a login streak token for clearing it this week. But what's really important here is at the bottom, actually. They have a percentage scale for the rewards. And you can see here that it says 30% for null. And the reason for that is because if you go all the way down to D5, you'll see that the null shards are 100%. So that would be the 10 that we've seen in preview in the Battle World videos and the live streams, things like that. So it's going to be 10 at D5, and it scales backwards from there, essentially. And the different revenue streams that you're going to get from your basically your daily and weekly rewards is your boss battles, your elite missions, your and the daily stuff. Like there's the daily wave, but there's like 3 or 4 different ways that you get rewards in this. I've spoken about that in separate videos, however. And so here you can see down at the bottom that is 30% of null shards. So that's 3 shards is what I'm expecting at D0, and then at D1 is 4, D2 is 5, D3 is 6, D4 is 8, and then finally we go back to 10, right? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. That's kind of the various shards. Now for week 1, everyone's gonna be starting here at D0, and then I believe next week we can jump up to D3, and then D4, and then D5. So it's gonna take us 4 weeks before we do eventually get to D5 for those of us who are wanting to do that. And you can see the rewards here based on how many VP points you get here. And this is, I'm pretty sure this is the same as what we saw in the live stream, I think. But this is not going to be based on your difficulty. This is kind of like it's kind of like a milestone check. And so once you reach these tiers, this is going to be your payout at the end of the week. It's going to be in your inbox somewhere. So it's going to cap out at 44,000 based on 10 million VPs or higher. And you can see the T3 ISO 8 credits. It's not a lot, actually. The orbs, it's like up to 4 orbs. And I think the credits is a fair bit. And at the very bottom, it's not much, like 2,000 or what is that, 800,000 VP points. So we'll see how obtainable some of these ranks are at like what difficulty. Like how many VPs does my entire alliance get after 1 week of D0, and then how that varies across the different difficulties. I think that'll be interesting and something that I'll keep track of on a weekly basis. I think as well, just so people have an idea of what to expect there as far as their participation. That'll show with your alliance members once that goes active. So that's kind of nice there. Leaderboard is not right. It's not active. I forgot we're in the preseason, so that's not there. And then you can go into preview for Zone 1. And then that's what we're currently at, waiting until Siege begins. Starting with Zone 1, the interface button. So that's kind of nice. And then the obvious requirements that are for this week. Now, hopefully, you guys have all checked out the Battleworld infographics that me and Big Positive Geek made. Did a video on that, but also it's on my Discord server, so it's in the Boilon's Resources channel, where we have all of the Battleworld infographics for all of the characters that you're recommended to use for these zone missions, but also the Spec Ops and how they kind of compete with each other, because honestly, there's a lot of Spec Ops choices that are also recommended for the battle mission. So you're going to have to keep that in mind, and we'll talk about that too. But if you click on the missions, anyways, it tells you bonus for Superior 6. And it tells you the bonus, right? Like, I have all of this in the infographic. We have all this in the infographics. Counts as Cosmic Crucible. Here's the buffs for them, right? This is all on the infographics, which is funny because we got this out well before that it was in game. You know, even the envoys and the blogs didn't have this information, which honestly, it should have been there. And so you can see that. And what's interesting, you can see a leaderboard. I guess that's for your alliance as well. It's going to start populate. You can see all the enemies. I mean, these are like gear tier 14 enemies. So it's going to be an auto fest for most of us. And then there's the elite mission. This one might be a little bit more interesting because it's going to be Pegasus. But, you know, with the power levels on there, I don't expect it to be that difficult unless you haven't built your Pegasus. Now, keep in mind that you can mix and match your characters. So if you have Doctor Strange and Moondragon built up, you could use them alongside 3 other Pegasus members until, you know, Ancient One comes out later on this week. Things like that. And you can see that ability effects with the war descriptors. I don't know if that's accurate or if that's... I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be raids. I'm gonna forward this to Big Positive Geek actually as I'm recording this, because I'm pretty sure. Let's double check all the missions. It's supposed to be raids for Pegasus, but it's not. So that'll be interesting. Okay, that's like bug number 1. Let's check the other missions while we're here. So Cosmic Annihilators is supposed to be arena. It's not. Oh, it counts as arena and raids. Okay, actually no, that's fine. That's fine. All the Herald missions are supposed to count as raids because of the enemies. A lot of the enemies tend to be symbiotes or hive mind. I think that's fine. Arena is fine. Hive mind. I didn't know that was going to be on there, but that's again probably against. It's for the enemies more than anything. And then the Annihilator is one I knew about. So that's fine there. And then let's check Spider-Verse. It should be Spider Society boss. It is and counts as raids, so that's fine. The the elite mission having war. Neither Astral or Pegasus have war, so I find that weird. And actually, in fact, with the exception of like Mr. Negative, I don't think anyone else in there has war bonuses. So I don't know why that's a thing. That's and then the rewards there, I guess, was that possible rewards. Let's check that out. Waves cleared 144. Okay, so this is based on your alliance and how many waves your alliance clears for that day. That's interesting. It's not like it is your individual progress as well, but what rewards you get is based on your alliance, because there would be up to 144 for the entire alliance. So is that the same for... Did it just break? No, we just broke it. All right, my game did crash, so we're back now, checking things out. So yeah, the only bug that I found so far, other than the crashing, is that the elite mission should have raid text active, is what I understand. The rest of it seemed to be okay. Let's take a look at Spec Ops now. There was some confusion. I did let people know on my Discord server, so hopefully you maybe saw that, maybe you didn't. It seems that you do need to actually put all 30 characters into each Spec Ops circle in order to get the rewards for this. So, as far as I'm aware, you're not going to get partial points. That's what I've heard. That you need to complete the entire circle, which obviously requires you to add 5 characters for all 6 of the characters, or five people need to submit, you know, each of these characters, which gives you a grand total of 30, and then you get the points, which are kind of listed above. And I think it is additive. My box is in the way, but this is 720 for the first one, 960, 2160. So you would actually add all of these up, and you would get a grand total of, I don't know, whatever that is, like 30k, 25 to 30k total if you clear all 8 circles. Now, the current alliance milestone, while I don't know 100%, I think it is actually going to require a completion of one of these hexes, right? And so I just want to show you from my my main account's roster perspective where some of the pitfalls are going to be. Gladiator, which requires 1 diamond. I don't have it maxed out yet, but hopefully I might soon over the next couple of weeks. Other than that, the rest of them, you don't need them leveled up, which is the good thing as far as I'm aware. You just need the 1 diamond activated. So if some of these characters are at level 1 for you, you probably still can submit them. Spec Ops number 7, I do not have gear tier 19 on Void Knight. Surprisingly, I never actually took him into Dark Dimension 7. and Spider-Man Big Time. But Spider-Man Big Time for me is level 100, so I may just chuck the G19 on there so that we can complete this a little bit better. The rest of them are just obviously handicaps for some of the combat missions. Spec Ops 6, I don't have a 6 red Nova. I hope some people in my alliance do. I don't have 6 red gore, but that's because I don't have 6 yellow. I'm very close to that. So really, it's just the 6 red Nova that I think is going to be a big deal here for Spec Ops 6. Spec Ops 5, not really a big deal at Gear Tier 17. You should have most of these characters leveled, honestly, or at least 5 people in your alliance should. Spec Ops 4, this is Gear Tier 15. Obviously, not a big problem. Something that maybe Spider Slayer, something I ignored on my alt account. Spec Ops 3 at 7 yellow. All of this is pretty basic as well. Shouldn't be that a problem. And also, you don't need to have them leveled. They just need to be 7 yellow. And then 5 yellow, again, don't need to be leveled. They just need to have the star ranks. Shouldn't be a problem there. And Spec Ops 1, again, we already covered that actually. Shouldn't be a big problem, but it does crutch you on some of the missions. But mostly from Spec Ops 4 onwards is where the crutches happen. Now, I've done this overview. I'm going to come back after I've kind of submitted a little bit and kind of show you how things go. All right, Battleworld is officially live, and one thing that I actually didn't notice until now, even though we're like halfway through the video, is that you can actually take a look at the other zones. I didn't realize if you actually click on them that you can actually preview them. And there's only one thing that I want to point out really quickly, because this was a change from their own spreadsheet, is that the Herald mission for Zone 2, which is tomorrow, is actually mercenaries and not mutants alpha flight. So this one over here is the alpha flight bonus. They had that down as the Herald mission, and it is actually the mercenary one. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because me and Big Positive Geek had data mined that the Herald mission was the mercenary one. They fucked up. They didn't even know what was in their own game. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And also on Zone 6, you can also see this for null. And it does confirm that, in fact, there is 3 shards for D0. So just wanted to share this. And then it scales, obviously. Well, we talked about this already as it scales up to 10 shards for D5. So let's go in. Now that it's live, right? Hasn't broken yet, but you can see that my alliance is starting to accumulate some points. I'm actually going to do Spec Ops first for the day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some of the ones that I think are more challenging, which we talked about just a minute ago. I'm going to put in some of the characters that I'll probably be using for the missions, but I wanted to put in like Thanos Endgame, G19 Thanos Endgame, and then Spider-Man Big Time I want to throw in there as well. So I'm going to confirm those 2 for me. And then I think 6, I don't actually have some of these that I can use. I'm going to do 6 reds. I mean, that shouldn't be that big of a problem. Let's go to some of the gear ones, I guess. Gear tier 17. Ultimus, why not, right? And Super Scroll, I guess. And we'll do some of those so far. 19, gear 1 diamond. I mean, I don't... Ghost Spider and Lizard. Let's just chuck that in there as well. I think other people should have some of them. So that's like, how many did I put in? 6 already. I'm going to go take a look at that a little bit later. Is there any new characters in here? Not really, right? Like, was it Spec Ops 4? Gear Tier 15. I mean, I guess I'll chuck in Spider Slayer as well. And Silver Surfer. That really just neutered my Annihilators, I think, for Zone 1. Now, I'm not going to... we could do the Herald mission, right? It is for Annihilators. I just chucked in a lot of Annihilators, but this is also pretty easy, I think. So let's just do the Herald mission and maybe the Ash of Odin. So now, as the other characters that I would have under Annihilators, right? Like, because I sent some of them in for Spec Ops. So that would leave me with Gladiator and Gore. And just for the hell of it, I'm still going to use them, but then I'm going to also substitute in... It's going to be an... because it's going to be a complete auto fest. I'm not going to use Mephisto. I don't know. I'll use let's use Cosmic Ghost Rider and Hela. Right. And then it's probably going to be an auto fest anyways, because this is like 75 G14 kind of content. All right, the Lord of the Abyss has many servants. The most powerful among them are Heralds of the Void. Hey, there's a cool Venom costume there. A Herald mission involves facing a powerful servant of Null and defeating them and their retinue. These missions have powerful... These should be missions plural. These missions have powerful foes and unique mechanics. Right, okay, so we saw the mods. If you take a look at them beforehand, I think we took a look at them earlier on in the video. And again, I'm not expecting... Like, I'm taking 0 damage, right? Like, I'm not expecting this to be difficult in any means. And what's interesting is that Venom has... Oh, I guess that's Red Goblin, right? Doing the taunt. You know, this should be pretty Yeah. Okay. So, you know, I'm not expecting this to be hard, right? And there you go. Maybe I can get this video out before my power goes out because apparently there's some heavy winds out there and my lights are flickering. So that's great. There we go. And super easy. I just want to see what happens when you win. Red Goblin has a lot of evades for. Oh, he's dead. Okay. So they're all dead. Right. We didn't expect that to be hard by any means or stretch of the imagination. But I want to kind of just show you what happens when you win. And there you go. Waves 1, and we got 2,700 victory points and 150 Battle World credits for that mission. And you can see that the mission is complete, and some points we need 60,000. I mean, super easy to get onto Zone 2, right? And so let's do the Elite mission, because I want to see whether or not the raid, it says counts as war, but we'll see pretty fast whether or not it works to, we're going to get rid of them, and we're just going to use Pegasus. And we're going to find out pretty quickly whether or not the raid buffs are active, because Pegasus get on-spawn speed bar, I'm pretty sure. So we should be able to notice that. It could be a visual bug. And so that's, I guess, what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, and we should be loading in here any second. And this is an elite mission. Thank you. If we go first, then we... no. So it looks, I don't, we should have gone first, right? So we didn't. It's probably not going to be that big of a deal, and honestly, still an autofest, right, at this point. But it does appear that the raid text is not active, which is a bit of a concern because it was in the JSON files as such, which is kind of weird, because they're supposed to get the bonuses, right? When Astral, they do have obviously they have the Battleworld text active because this is Battleworld. But the Astral team is also supposed to get their stuff in this. So this is a bit weird they don't have that. And something that will have to be raised. So there you go. I'm not going to sit here and watch me kill all this stuff because it's going to be an auto, which is fine. We'll find out like when Astral or when Pegasus stops being able to clear the elite missions. I suspect that's going to be around D3, D4, where it just gets too hard for your average Pegasus. And if they don't get the raid bonuses, actually, that's a big problem too. So something to keep an eye out. And there we go. That is the Astral mission. Easy peasy. An auto. 6 waves done. 5,400 VPs for this and 210 Battle World credits. The VPs are pretty good on this, however, so obviously it's worth a fair few of the standard missions in terms of total VPs. The fact that the raid bonuses weren't on is going to be concerning if that's the case for later missions. That's something that I want to do double check, but I'm not going to go through the other ones because it's going to be even more of an auto, but you can see as the, there we go, complete, and you can also see here as well as the possible rewards. So 2 of us have cleared it at this point, which means this is pretty garbage. D0, 2,750 purple ions is absolute trash. But it is D0. Nonetheless, it's like almost nothing. And you can see that I have cleared 2 out of 4 missions. And I put in 8 Spec Ops characters, and I don't think any circles are quite full yet as of recording this one. One other thing that I do want to check really quick just after that, but I do want to check the other zones, their elite missions, and whether or not it also has the text about war. No, it does say war. That's weird. Okay, so I don't know. I think it needs to be changed because none of the characters are war with the exception of maybe Rescue. One thing I do want to double check also is the Cosmic Battle. So yes, I haven't cleared any Spec Ops circles, and it does confirm that you do need to complete the circle in order to get the 5,000 points. So that's going to be useful information for your alliance. But I think that does it for me for now. There's not really much else to share with you guys because a lot of this is going to be auto. I just wanted to do a little brief overview of Battleworld if you do check out this video before you get started with your day. And that's about it. I mean, there's going to be some more exciting stuff, I guess, like on Saturday for Null. But otherwise, for the rest of the week, I don't think it's going to change much. That's it for now, everyone. Let me know what your thoughts of early Battleworld is in the comments down below. And until next time, stay safe and healthy. And I'll see y'all later. Boilon signing out.